Hi everybody, it's your favorite boy. Not to flex too much here, but the memes that I could go with for this intro, oh man, I could go with the future meme. I could go with the SpongeBob meme. Just like the future, the possibilities here, they're endless. Unlike the future, 1.19, it has an end. With 1.19 approaching closer and closer and closer, of course I'm excited. But what's next? Well, today, for fun, we're going to take a look at what might be next. Here are 30 updates that could be in Minecraft 1.20. Whoa, that sounds weird. Right now, anything's on the table. What would you like to see in 1.20? Drop it down below, and let's go. The first update on our big list today, it's a big one. The wild update is a biome update that we didn't vote for. Or at least the community didn't vote for. Badlands update has to make it into the game. Inside of the Badlands update, the vulture would be added to the game. This would be the first big bird in Minecraft. When we first got the chance to vote on the vulture, it was stated that this thing would fly around in the air and look for items. And then, eventually, the vulture goes over to that item, picks up the item, and then goes back to the sky. Unluckily enough for you, I'm pretty sure you're not a bird, so good luck getting that item back. Oh boy, but that's not all. Inside of a Badlands revamp, we also get a brand new type of cactus, the prickly pear cactus. Possibility number one, the less exciting one, the new type of cactus is simply a new type of dye. Being a prickly pear cactus, having flowers on it, maybe it's a new pink or magenta dye. The exciting one is food. I feel like Minecraft seriously needs a brand new type of food that is a plant that is really good to eat. Maybe the prickly pear is the perfect chance. Tumbleweed would also be added to the game as well. Now, tumbleweed, the concept of it is really confusing. In real life, it's like this plant that blows around inside of a desert. A plant that moves through your world on its own, kind of like a mob. Well, unprecedented. But I'm not sure how the devs would make that work. How this mod does it is tumbleweed is like a throwable item. You can throw tumbleweed around. But it hurts me every time. So I don't know. Speaking of updates, it would be amazing to see archaeology. Archaeology was originally announced to be part of the 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update. Inside of this archaeology update, brushes. Brushes will be added to the game. Originally, 2 were shown off. It's not clear what the difference is. Also, dig sites, a brand new structure would be added to the game. You would basically take these brushes, head over to the dig sites, and start digging. You'd erase these layers of blocks in search of treasure. Sometimes you find something good, sometimes you wouldn't. There was this whole ceramic shard and pot making mechanic where basically you could take these pieces of a pot and combine them onto a solid pot to make a story, which was really cool. We would have been able to use fire to smelt up these large pots that sometimes tell stories to have these gigantic cool decorations in our world. In hindsight, it kind of does make sense that this stuff was canceled from Caves and Cliffs because it seems massive. It seems like there's so much potential to archaeology. To me, it definitely feels like this archaeology system could have an update of its own. And you know what? While we're making 1.20 the archaeology update, let's just go ahead and bundle this thing with it. The long-awaited bundle, inventory revamp. Kind of. The bundle. Aesthetically, I feel like the bundle would fit perfectly with archaeology. Functionally, I feel like it would fit perfectly with archaeology too. A bundle inside of the archaeology update, inside of 1.20, it's a dream. Infinite realities? Forget about it. This next one has 2 possible outcomes. Outcome number 1, this next feature is in 1.20. Outcome number 2, it's in 1.19 point something else. Either way, it's after 1.19. As you probably know, especially if you play Bedrock Edition, spectator mode, it's in the works. It's coming soon. But it won't be in 1.19. There is a 126% chance the spectator mode will be making its way over to Bedrock Edition after 1.19. Spectator mode, who cares? Well, you should. The possibilities with spectator mode are pretty sweet. Of course, you can spectate the world, like fly through it and check things out, find a cave or a geode really quick. Or maybe your obnoxious friend keeps being obnoxious in your world. Well, spectator mode, you could use this mode to watch them. But truly, the biggest reason the spectator mode is such a big deal will not be mentioned right now. We'll come back around to it. Keep it in mind. Look, maybe this is me clinging to the past, but it's becoming summer, and when it becomes summer, outside there's the fireflies, and poor firefly, how could they have done that to you? Poor firefly. Imagine this, after 1.19, instead of 1.20 comes 1.19.1 or maybe even 1.19.2. It's a small update, and inside of that small update, a brand new, small, tiny particle effect. I mean, sure, I guess technically not 1.20 at that point, but like, please, like Firefly, I will do anything to have you. I mean, look at this thing, the atmosphere, how amazing would this be? I mean, this has been done before. After 1.16, the Piglin Brute was added to the game, so maybe after 1.19, the Firefly is added to the game. Please, Originally, when the devs said swamp update, I thought that meant update the existing swamp, not add a brand new type of swamp to the game. When the devs said desert update, did they mean update the existing desert or add a new one? The guess is up to you. Either way, once this desert update does make it into the game, we're looking at a brand new type of tree with a brand new type of wood set family too. Please don't do the azalea thing. Don't, please, no. The palm tree. The palm tree will be a brand new tropical, hot, warm type of tree. You'll find this thing generating in the desert or in the new desert biome. We'd also be looking at desert oases. Desert. The oasis that you'd be able to find inside of the desert will basically be a pocket of life inside of a dead, dry wasteland. I mean, I'm not sure, but I would guess this pocket of life probably becomes its own biome. And maybe that pocket of life biome is where you actually end up finding the palm tree, instead of inside of a dry wasteland. I mean, palm trees, I'm pretty sure they're not in the desert after all. This mod also adds some random loot containers that you can find inside of the desert. Who left them there? Maybe an explorer that went away or something bad like that. So something like that could be pretty cool to see. Something pretty adorable to see. The meerkat. Look at this meerkat right here. Now, what does the meerkat actually do? Well, unlike the vulture, we don't really know what this thing does. I mean, in real life, meerkats dig tunnels, so maybe they dig around and ruin all of the sand in your world. Which sounds terrible. Remember when I said we would come back around to spectator mode, talk about why it's truly a big deal? Well, that glorious moment is here. Hardcore mode. Ah, yes. Hardcore Minecraft is one of the most interesting ways to experience the game, and one of the most interesting ways to watch the game. This is constantly trending. However, currently it only exists on one version of the game, Java Edition, until Spectator mode. For Hardcore mode to exist, you need Spectator. Aha, so here we are, my glorious 1000-day Spectator world. Look at all the trees that I've grown. It's truly great. I sure hope nothing bad would happen to me inside of this world. Oh no. Once you hit the big rip in Hardcore mode, it's Spectate or Title. Spectate or Title. With Spectator mode coming over to Bedrock Edition, I think it's a pretty safe call to say that Spectator mode and Hardcore mode might be bundled into one big update. For the first time ever, it's looking like Bedrock players will finally get to experience Hardcore, and probably soon. Hi, it's me still. Just wanted to check in with you really quick, see how you're doing. Good? Okay, that's cool. Quick reminder to subscribe or double check, make sure you are, and let's move on. Literally 2 summers ago at this point, a combat update was in the works. The end goal is having combat be the same on Java Edition and Bedrock Edition. 1.20, 2 summers later, feels like it could be the perfect time to finally finish up those combat revamps. The combat mechanics that were being worked on were really cool. One of my favorite ones was a brand new reach mechanic. You see this axe that can't hit the sheep, but from back here, same spot, the trident can. Also, durability rebalances. The axe finally wouldn't lose an absurd amount of durability just for using it as a weapon. Honestly, this entire video could be combat updates because there are so many proposed changes to come to the combat system. One that I would like to put a little bit of focus on for a second though is a brand new enchantment that will make it into the game in this combat update as well. This enchantment is known as the Cleaving enchantment. There are 3 levels to the Cleaving enchantment. You can kind of think of Cleaving as sort of like the sharpness of the axe. The Cleaving enchantment is an axe enchantment that increases the damage that this thing deals. If I were to attack this cow right here, and the cow had a shield and I had Cleaving 3, the cow's shield would be disabled for 1.5 seconds. The idea of the Cleaving enchantment is pretty sweet. In the end, bundled together, the Caves and Cliffs update was a gigantic update. During the development to the second half of that update, 1.18, there were some proposed changes that were proposed and then removed. Speaking of proposed changes that were postponed, the Elytra. There's no denying that in Minecraft, there's kind of a transportation problem. I mean, think about it. Once you get the Elytra, there's truly no point in using any other form of transportation. Other than boats on ice in the Nether, there's no form of transport in the game that even comes close to the Elytra. Depending on what the devs end up doing with 1.20, it might be the perfect time to take a look at balancing transportation. That would mean Elytra changes, and probably changes to other transport as well. The Meadow biome, one of the most peaceful, calm-feeling biomes in the entire game. It's a nice biome. It was added in 1.18. Inside of the Meadow biome, you'll be able to find villages. Villages were revamped in the 1.14 update. Yikes. Ever since the implementation of the village in the plains biome, something has felt off. Wait, I said plains, I didn't even mean it. Yeah, that's the problem right there. So every single biome that has a village has a unique village, except the meadow biome. When the meadow biome got villages in 1.18, the plains village was essentially copy and pasted over to this place. That makes no sense at all. Think about it. The taiga, it's special. The desert, it's special. The meadow, it's not special at all. A meadow village needs to happen. In a world where 1.20 becomes maybe a smaller update, tying up some loose ends and finishing things, a meadow village, absolute must. There's no denying that the ancient city is mysterious. More specifically, the thing in the middle of the ancient city. It's mysterious. It's suspicious. Answers. We need them now. Only problem is answers. We're not getting them now. Reinforced deep slate, the ancient city and the centerpiece of it was left intentionally mysterious in 1.19. I think. I hope. I mean, look at this thing. It looks like a giant portal. There's gotta be more to this thing. Answers, answers, answers. 1.20. Whether those answers come in the form of some kind of brand new dimension that would be absolutely massive, one of the biggest updates of all time, or in the form of something else, it doesn't matter. If we're guessing the theme of 1.20, something to do with this gigantic square of reinforced deep slate would be a pretty solid guess. I kind of can't believe it. We're down to 3 biome updates that are waiting to happen. We've talked about 2 of them. The final one that we haven't yet is the Savannah biome. Inside of the Savannah update, BAOBAB trees. Look at this concept for a BAOBAB tree. This is big. It's strong. That's so much wood. This thing is insane. Imagine chopping one of these things down for wood. You'd have like stacks and stacks and stacks. But maybe you're not fast enough and you didn't chop it down. Instead, the termites added inside of the Savannah update chopped it down. What do termites do? Ruin all of the wood in your world, I guess. Terrified of termites? Well, hey, I've got the solution for you. The ostrich, also added inside of the Savannah update. Grab a saddle, jump on the back of an ostrich, or pretend I'm on the back of an ostrich, and ride away from the termites into the sunset. A 1.20 smoldering Savannah update with baobab trees, ostriches, and termites. Top tier. Not to flex too much on Bedrock Edition, it's great really, but check out my map. My map is pretty nice looking. If I go ahead and expand my map a little bit, then the map is surprisingly going to get expanded. That's great, I'm really zoomed out now. Now once the map is zoomed out, I'll throw it in my offhand and walk around and oh wait, whoa, what's that? Is that a banner? Banner, yes, on the map too. Oh, yes, that works. But only on Java. Try that same move on Bedrock Edition right now and disappointment is all that you're gonna get. Banner maps are one of the biggest parity differences in the game. It needs to be squished. Either remove it from one version of the game or wait, what am I saying? The 23rd potential update in 1.20 for today at least is a small one, the Dripstone Caves biome. In 1.18, at one point, only drowned spawned inside of the Dripstone Caves biome. It was pretty cool. With the addition of a completely different cave biome in 1.19 with different spawning mechanics, aka no mobs at all, a quick revisit to mob spawning inside of the Dripstone Caves and maybe even the Lush Caves too, could be a thing we'd see. If you haven't heard by now, oh boy, sit down. I have terrible news for you. The Birch Forest biome, it is not getting updated in 1.19. But 1.20? Maybe. One of the coolest things about Minecraft's developers, in my opinion, is the fact that they listen to the community. They have to have. I mean, they must have heard the community when the community heard about the 1.19 No Birch update. Theoretically, if the devs were trying to work on a smaller 1.20 update, a quick Birch Forest revamp with better birch trees and maybe even a brand new type of flower would be the perfect quick update. Ever since this captivating concept art was shown off, the community has been captivated. Taking this concept and slapping it in game would be a loved update. Better birch trees that are maybe a little bit taller with a log coming off them would be great. A couple more flowers would be cool too, but if the devs really want to go above and beyond, down to logs in the birch forest that are hollow as well, unlike this log right here. Oh man, hollowed logs. I mean, if you've seen any of my reactions to the mods for the birch forest, I think I like the idea of hollowed logs. There's a lot that the devs could do with the birch forest update. This list is almost finished. Once it's done, if you'd like to see some cool ideas for a birch forest update, check out this video. I'll drop it on the end card for you. This stronghold, yes, one of the oldest structures in the game, one of the most samey structures in the game, and also, compared to some of the newer ones, maybe a little bit boring. Of course, the stronghold could be updated, but let's think bigger. At this point, the Nether update was probably the most loved Minecraft update of all time. The Nether update took a dimension that was a repetitive fiery wasteland and upgraded it and made it interesting, added biomes to it. If only there was another dimension in the game that was one single biome and essentially a wasteland. Haha, oh wait. Ever since the end was expanded with the Outer End Islands, Chorus, and End Cities, the community has been wanting more inside of the end. With just about every original Caves and Cliffs feature now in the game, it might be the perfect time to switch gears. Unlike the name of it, the possibilities for an end update are literally endless. Haha, moving on. This is an Illusioner. The Illusioner has been in the game for a really long time now, except it hasn't. If you want to check out an Illusioner and all of its unique behaviors, then you're going to need to use the summon command. The Illusioner is a ranged Illusioner that also creates clones of itself somehow to try and confuse you. I think at one point the devs had the idea to add the Illusioner into the game with raids. That's a cool idea. In a raid or not, our Illusioner friend has simply waited patiently for way too long. It's time. Speaking of features that have been in the game for years, waiting for a use, just waiting and waiting and waiting, the fletching table. The fletching table was added in 1.14. It's a workstation block. Every single other workstation block in the Bell, which isn't even a workstation, has a use. The fletching table needs a use. My best guess as to why the fletching table still doesn't have a use is that maybe it ties into the combat revamp somehow. If the combat revamps make it into 1.20, then the fletching table revamp, I mean, come on. It's been waiting for so long, just like the Illusioner. Like, come on. Sooner or later. It needs a little bit of love. Speaking of love, do you know what I love? Well, I love azalea trees with custom azalea. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait, what? This was added into the game, and you know what they say? Every new tree gets a new wood type. Said it like a million times. Same joke. Always. I mean, come on. If I'm going to talk about updates in 1.20, you knew I was going to put this in the video, right? Like, you had to know that this was going to make it into the list. If you didn't know, then you're just mistaken. It's in the list. It's right here. It's the very final thing in our list. Come on, at any point, I'll take any color, even just another orange wood, like literally anything. I'm desperate. I will take anything. Please, can't you hear? I'm crying. Minecraft 1.20 and the future. Those are 30 updates that we could end up seeing in 1.20. There's a -% chance that we end up seeing every single one of those 30 updates, but there is a 100% chance that we end up seeing at least one of them. At least I think. If you haven't yet, drop an update that you would love to see in the 1.20 update, and while you're headed down there, double check. Make sure you're subscribed. With a wild update coming out next week, I have some of my biggest videos ever on the way. You don't want to miss them. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to this point. You're the best, it's been me, your boy. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.